Hi, Michael. Thank you for submitting your video to fixyourgame.com. This is PGA professional Brant Casbaum speaking. And there are a couple of things in your swing that I'd like to talk to you about this afternoon. I think there's some room for improvement. But I also want to make you aware of the written part of the analysis that's in the email. Definitely take a look at that. Go into a little bit more detail there on some of the things that you can do to improve. So we're going to start here in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and the first note I want to bring up is your ball position. With your driver, especially here, your ball position is quite a bit farther forward than it should be. I would prefer it to be 4, 5, 6 inches farther back, maybe even with your left heel or an inch or two behind that. That's going to help bring your shoulders in alignment. Your shoulders appear as if they're aimed to the left of your target, but by moving that ball position back, that'll help to square that left shoulder. But the main thing from this angle, from behind or down the line, that I want to talk about is your posture. You can see the curvature in your upper spine, and I like to see that spine straightened. If we draw a line from the base of your neck down to your tailbone, you can really see the curvature in the top of your spine here, especially through the shoulders. Comparing it to this gentleman on the left, who is yours truly, you can see that my spine, the angle of my spine matches that straight line. It's very straight, whereas over here you can see the curvature in that spine. That limits the flexibility of your torso and really prevents you from making a good full backswing as you swing the club back, a good full rotation. So you want to get the feeling as if your shoulders are back, as if you're standing at attention in the military, and then you lean forward by pushing your hips or your rear end out and just allowing your arms to hang down naturally. That'll help to straighten that spine. Also, it helps if your chin is up at address. As you can see here, my chin isn't tucked down into my chest. My chin is up at address, which allows for my left shoulder or front shoulder to rotate underneath my chin, whereas we'll see in the other angle that your left shoulder kind of gets stuck behind your chin, which makes it for another thing that makes it difficult to make a full rotation. So I'm going to erase the lines here on both of these, and we're going to talk about the next thing I see in your swing, and that is as you rotate the club back, you lose the flex in your right knee. You kind of stand up and come out of your posture a little bit as you swing the club back, and we can see it as we rotate here to the top of your swing. I'll advance it frame by frame here, especially right here as your club gets to the top of your swing. You've lost almost all of the flex in that back knee. It's very straight from your hip down to your ankle. There's not a lot of flex in that knee at all. If we look over here at my swing as I rotate up to the top, you can see at the top of my swing here, let me go a little bit farther than that, there's still a fair amount of flex from my, whoops, let me get my drawing line here. Still a fair amount of flex in my knee from my hips down to my ankles there. You can still see the flex. And what this is doing over here is by straightening that back leg, that makes it very difficult to transfer your weight and make a good full rotation. That straight right knee becomes very rigid, and it's almost like a wall that you're turning up against it with your torso, as opposed to rotating your weight over to your right foot. You're rotating up against it, and it makes it very difficult to get your weight in a good full rotation and a full weight transfer. And we can see that from the above videos here as well. As we take a look at the two top videos here, the face-on views, you can see that at the top of your swing, your weight has really stayed, or your shoulders have rotated pretty much even with the ball here. We haven't gone rotating too far back or behind the ball, whereas we see over here on the right at the top of my swing, I've rotated and made a good a full distance behind the ball. I've rotated my weight or my front shoulder over my back foot, whereas you can see here your front shoulder is still not quite over that back foot, and your chin is tucked behind that shoulder. This is all a result of the posture. If we can keep that spine straight, that will allow you to make a better rotation as you swing the club through. So as you, a couple of things that we can work on from today's lesson. Number one, especially with the driver, get that ball position a little farther back. Even at this angle, it does appear that your ball position, it might be a little bit far forward. So if anything, I'd like to see that come just a hair back. And that'll also help to square your shoulders. And swinging the club, we want to make sure that we rotate our torso and feel like we're turning our left shoulder behind the ball as much as we can, and that will allow you to make the good full release of the club that you do because of the good grip you have on the club. Allow that club to be square at impact. The ball position forward combined with the lack of a full rotation and weight shift is what's causing the ball to give the hook ball flight or the right to left ball flight. You're getting somewhat ahead of the ball because you make a good full release without making the good full rotation. So if you make the good full rotation and then make the good full release on top of it, that will help to increase your club head speed and also to help bring that club square at impact, as opposed to being what's known as being out ahead of it a little bit, which causes the hook. So one last thing I'm going to show you here, and that's kind of a cool thing. I'm going to advance this swing here right down to impact. Whoop, we'll back up a little bit, and I just happened to notice that before while looking at it, that this is quite a cool shot. Here you can see the flex in the shaft here right at impact. And I just thought that was pretty cool, so thought you'd like to see that. So if there's any questions, please email at info@fixyourgame.com, and be sure to check out the written part of the analysis. I definitely think there's some things that you can work on, and that will lead to some improvement. Thanks, Michael. Have a great day.